Hey guys, it's Twins in the Outdoors here. It's just me today. Kids are in school, so came back out here doing some scouting for the upcoming spring turkey season. And I thought, what better way to share some insight and advice than what time I'm out here scouting. So I'm going to bring you a video today, guys, letting you know of some few things that I think is very important for every hunter to have in their turkey vest this spring, or backpack, or whatever you choose to carry. First thing is going to be snacks and water. So make sure you stay hydrated, guys. Dehydration this time of year can be very dangerous. And blood sugar. If you guys have low blood sugar, make sure you've got something that'll kind of help get you through until you can get back to your vehicle or get lunch or something. But I normally just carry like a pack of nabs, a couple of protein bars, and some nuts. Just something to hold me over, and we normally carry a couple of bottles of water with us because it's typically me and my kids that go, and I take one or the other. So this time of the year here, especially where we are in Virginia, the weather, you never know one day if it's going to be, pushing 90 or in the 30s. So being said, with weather being unpredictable, it's very important to stay hydrated. Drink water, Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you prefer. I personally don't take pop with me, or soda, some of you people say, with me, just because it's, carbonation and things of that sort. But whatever you bring to drink, whatever you bring the snack on, just be mindful of, what your body needs when you're sweating and you're active. And let's see, the second thing, let's see what I've got here. In this time of the year, guys, got all kinds of little creepy crawlies out. Snakes are just now starting to come out because it's getting warm. But a snake bite kit or a bee sting kit. Some of you that may be allergic to bees, if so, make sure you bring an EpiPen. I'm not allergic to bees, but here where we live, we've got copperheads and we've got rattlesnakes, timber rattlers. So I personally don't want to get snake bit. We live in a very rural area. On a good day, it's 45 minutes to an hour to a hospital. So some of the places that we turkey hunt, we may be 2.5 hours, maybe even 3, depending on how far we are back in the bush, the woods, whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, so with that being said, I always keep one of these here with me. And it's got an extractor pump with it, different syringes or nozzles, razor to shave the area from hair, alcohol pads, band-aids, and a sting wipe, and a little instruction book here on how to use it. But I always keep this with me when I'm fishing, when I'm hunting, regardless of what I'm doing. Even in the fall, guys, I always pack this because you never know with this crazy weather what the snakes are going to be doing. So that was number 2. Let's move on here to number 3. See what I've got here as far as the necessity goes. Lighter. I can't stress this enough. This is one of the things that I always make sure that I have is a proper lighter. Whether it's burn a thread on my shirt, on my jacket if something starts to unravel, or the uneventful nature, somebody gets hurt, you get wet, you get cold, and you've got to dry out. If it's 30 degrees and you can build a fire just enough to keep you from going into hypothermia, that's great. Let's hope nothing like that ever happens, but I always bring an ignition source. I choose a lighter just because you can use it for anything rather than, like your traditional fire starter, because, let's face it, we're not all Bear Grylls or Les Stroud. We're not going to be able to make a fire out of rubbing 2 sticks together on a boater. I can. Some of you may can. If so, that's great. I'm proud of you. So let's move on here and see what else we've got here. An inhaler. I'm a mild asthmatic, so I always make sure that I bring my inhaler with me. If you're not asthmatic, bring other medicines that you may need, that you may not think you may need, like an EpiPen if you're allergic to bees or wasps, or things of that sort. If you're on heart medication, blood pressure medication, and you're supposed to take your medicine at a certain time every day, just throw one in your vest or your bag, because you never know when something may happen and you may not make it back in time when you're supposed to be taking your medicine. So any kind of medicine that you guys are required to take, I would highly suggest you bring it with you. And some people may even bring Tylenol and ibuprofen, things of that sort. I personally don't, but I always just try to pack light and pack what I need. So, cell phone. Some places this will work, some places it won't. But with the new iPhones, the iPhone 16s, they have the satellite feature on there. If you buy a new phone, you can use that free for up to 2 years, which still enables you to send messages, text messages to somebody, whether you've got service or not, by using the satellite feature. So that's a really, really neat thing to have. Here, we do not have places that we hunt that has service most of the times until we either get really high or back towards civilization. But I always bring mine anyhow and put mine in airplane mode is another good tip. So it's not constantly searching for service, and which will result in draining your battery. If I plan on doing an all-day sit like during deer season, I'll pack 2 or 3 of those portable chargers with me so I can keep my device charged. The spring here in Virginia, I really don't, because the first part of the season we can only hunt till noon, and then I may later in the season when the all-day hunt comes up. So this, guys, is probably the most important thing you could ever bring outside of, medications. This is a Garmin inReach Mini. This enables you to communicate with people via satellite. You do have to pay for the subscription, but it's very, very great to have. You can send messages to family and friends letting them know, hey, I'm okay, or hey, I fell, I'm hurt, I need help. And it's also got a real nifty SOS button here on the side that you can use. That goes straight to emergency services if you guys should need anything. I recommend taking the time and purchasing one of these. I was on the fence on buying one of these for the longest time ever, just because I was in the mindset of, I don't need that. That's junk. That's just a waste of money that I'll never use. Well, I've never been in an emergency that I've actually needed this, but with having 2 kids and having only one that you take at a time, just so you can have one-on-one time with them or whatever, and you got one at home, it's always good to have, so that way, you could always get a message, hey, your son got hurt, your daughter got hurt, I need you to come home now, type thing. They're very great for that. So I would highly recommend you buying one of these. Well worth their money. Also, maps, navigation, things of that sort, especially if you're a public land hunter. It's great to have one of these so that other people can know where you're at, know where you're going, and if you're not back at a designated time, you can also map share on this to let other people see where you're at, which would be really great. If you're a lone hunter like me some days and you're out by yourself, you get hurt and you're not able to necessarily communicate with somebody, then at least somebody will know to check in on you and know where you're at. But so this is the final thing I would recommend, and probably like I said earlier, the most important thing to bring outside of your normal gun, calls, things of that sort. And while we're on the topic of firearms, speaking of firearms, I always carry a handgun with me, regardless of if I'm turkey hunting, whatever, just for my own personal protection. It's always on my side. That being said, you've got the ability to, drop your long gun, or for instance, you fall down. If you're getting chased by a bear, I know the likelihood of that happening is slim here where we live, because we've got black bears here. Most of the time they're pretty docile, unless they've got cubs or they're injured or they're just really mad for some reason. But anyhow, I always pack a sidearm, just because you never know. I'd rather be more prepared than underprepared, and maybe run from a bear. I know you're not supposed to run from a bear, but you get what I'm saying. Or a bear attack or whatever, and I drop my long gun and there I am. I don't have nothing but a pocket knife. So I always try to pack a sidearm with me, just for my own personal protection, especially during the springtime. Not so much for bears, but coyotes. We have a continuous season here for coyotes, and unless it's 20 yards, I'd rather not shoot a coyote with a shotgun. But that's just my personal preference. I've seen it done. Can it be done? Yes. That's on you guys. Me personally, I'm more confident with my handgun than I am a shotgun shooting a coyote, because I don't want to get coyote attacked. I don't want to get bit, mauled, whatever you want to call it. And probably my last thing here that I failed to notice, or failed to note in this video here, is a pocket knife. I always pack a good pocket knife. I love the Field Razor here by Outdoor Edge. I always pack this as a regular pocket knife as well during hunting season too. It's got the interchangeable blades here. Buy one, replace it. It gets dull, swap it out with one. You can sharpen them as well, but I just prefer just swapping blades out. It's just easier and more time sensitive for me, because I don't have to worry about trying to get it to hold a good edge and drag the leather out and the whip rock and all that good stuff. But These right here are the best, and for all you fishermen out there, they make the same exact knife in a fillet knife, which last year I filleted a bunch of stingray, or not stingray, filleted a bunch of cow nose ray with it, blue catfish, and I think that was it. But I was several hours on one blade, and it done rather well. I was very, very well pleased with it. So, guys, that's it. So, make sure you got snacks and water. Make sure you got some type of ignition source, good pocket knife, cell phone, a Garmin, something like that to let people know where you're at. Bee stinger snake bite kit. No certain order. I'm not ranking anything of like anything is any more important than the next. However, that's a personal preference on what you guys think is more important. Me, my inhaler is number one. It's always going to be number one in my bag because I don't want to be out in the mountains and have an asthma attack. I'm chubby. If I get too winded, I'll have to have a puff of it, and that's something I've accepted. So I guess this video is more so encouraging you guys to sit down, develop a plan, go through your turkey vest, figure out what works for you, what you need in there. But a few of the things, like I said, that I would recommend everybody have would be cigarette lighter, or some sort of ignition source, cell phone, Garmin, some way to communicate with somebody, pocket knife, and a snake bite kit. Everything else outside of snacks and water, you can pretty well critique that to what fits your personal needs. But other than that, guys, that's about it. Just everybody be safe out there. And if you haven't done so, like this video, push that bell notifications, and subscribe, guys. I'd appreciate it if you guys would. We're trying to get this channel to grow. So please be sure to like and subscribe. Turkey season's here, opening weekend Saturday here in Virginia. So stick around, stay tuned, guys. We'll let you know if we get on a big gobbler this year.